gospel music. The new 1420 AM WFLT, Flint. Good evening at 6 p.m. and time now for CHEA Use of Knowledge is Power broadcast with Dr. Marseille Wells-Strozier. Information on how to reach CHEA will follow today's broadcast. And now, here's your host.
Hello, and thank you, listeners, for another wonderful week of CHEA Use of Knowledge is Power. And if Al is listening to us, Al, I know you're on your way. So I want to start out with my round robin today. Hello, Paul.
Oh, you're going to come to me first?
Yes, I came to you last week first.
You got to go to him first because I don't have a camera on me. Wait a minute. I think I got a camera on.
Ever since when we have to have a camera on you, too?
Because I am gorgeous and people need to see that.
That is true.
Thank God this is radio. This is radio.
All right, there I am. Wait a minute.
You know, we only got 30 minutes, so hi, Paul.
30 minutes. Hi.
How you doing? Paul popped up on me yesterday at work.
Oh,
You know?
a nice surprise.
No, it wasn't a nice surprise.
Uh-oh. Just a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
I disagree. I think it was a wonderful treat for her.
You got to know how to look at these things.
You got to look at it right.
I guess so. Then he wanted to utilize one of my staff members
Oh, my.
on my payroll during work hours.
Okay.
But that's okay. He got him done and got him out of there.
You
Good.
don't know what I'm going to bill you for this backup host position you just put me in.
You know, let me hurry up and go to my next person. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Good. So you filling in for Al for a few?
Yes.
How was your
Joey
day?
gets around the train.
Yeah, is something going on with a
It's
train.
always that time of day when you got 50, 60 trains running.
Well, you know what? It's not even moving. That's the whole thing, and it's blocking.
Yeah.
Robert
it's
T.
probably waiting for another train.
I don't know what it's doing, but it's causing problems with people trying to get through. So
Yeah, traffic
That's true.
backups.
very much so. So callers, if you're interested in our topic tonight, we're going to be talking about what potential employers are looking for in an employee. Please give us a call at 239-5733. Again, the number is 239-5733. All righty. In the studio tonight, we have someone that do not need a... What's the word I want to use?
Lengthy introduction.
She doesn't need an introduction at all. I mean, if it wasn't for her, this would not have been possible. If it wasn't for her, I don't think CHEA would have been established as long as we have been.
You were going to make this happen. You are completely devoted to the cause and dedicated in a way that makes all of the people around you want to support your efforts. So,
But the most important thing is you got to have partnerships. So
Oh, yes.
here in the
Oh,
studio
yes.
today, we have Miss Cheryl Woodyard from Flagstar Bank. She was clapping for you, Paul, so let's clap for her. Paul, did no one ask you to tap dance? How are you?
I'm good. I am excited to be talking about this subject because the bottom line is you got to be ready when you go in.
That is true.
I am absolutely ready to share that information from the perspective of a professional who does the hiring, who's looking for applicants who will have the talent and the skill set that I'm looking for. But you got to be ready.
You got to be ready. But
Gotta
before
be
we go
ready.
in our conversation, tell us a little bit about Flagstar Bank. For the listeners who are not familiar with Flagstar Bank, that is located here in Genesee County, tell us about Flagstar Bank.
Well, my branch is located at 6200 South Saginaw in Grand Blanc, and we service the greater Flint area and beyond. I go wherever there is that need. If I'm invited, I'm going. And we are dedicated to crafting financial solutions for our customers that are going to have a positive impact on their lives. And to that end, we go above and beyond to do that. We really are dedicated to making certain that if we have the opportunity to touch your financial life, that we are making a long-lasting positive difference. So I'm super excited for this partnership and to be working in conjunction with you. I really appreciate it.
I love you so much. But Al,
Absolutely.
your favorite lady is here.
See it.
Hello, Al. I'm good. I'm good. Well, I am here.
See,
Tonight we're going to be talking about what potential employers are looking for in an employee.
Okay.
All righty? So let's get this conversation going.
Absolutely.
All righty. So let's talk about dressing.
Well, of course, what's appropriate is going to be based primarily on what you are going to be interviewed for. So in some instances, absolutely a suit and tie, absolutely a dress with heels or even flats, just looking completely sharp, just looking good. Everything is laundered well, it's pressed, it's in good shape. Shoes are shine, no scuffs, appropriate sized jewelry, the makeup, let's make sure that it's tame enough to complement your beauty and not overpower what your features are. We want to make certain that you are presenting in a way that is not just impressive for the position, but just making that good first impression. So that's super important.
Now, I do know, listeners, Cheryl may be speaking from a corporate level, which is a white-collar type position, but we can recommend this also for those who are interviewing for a blue-collar job.
Absolutely. So blue-collar positions, you still need to go in looking good, not necessarily in a suit and tie, but again, well laundered, clean, good press on those slacks. Ladies, definitely you're going to want to make certain that everything is appropriately covered.
Yes, we're talking about the low-cut blouses or dresses.
Yes.
Or how about the short ones? Now, you know, I was raised in Church of God in Christ. All right, so
Amen.
I came from a strict upbringing.
Yes, I know what that is.
And, you know, your dress, even when you sat down, it was not supposed to come above your kneecaps.
That's right.
Now, that's one thing I will say. That's what the church did teach me, and I kind of keep some of that kind of hearing.
Absolutely.
It depends on what environment I'm in.
Right.
I keep some of that teaching that was taught to me. So we have young ladies who probably haven't been taught through the church or through someone about the rules about how high your skirt's supposed to be from the front and when you bend over from the back.
That's correct. So let's look at it this way, ladies. If when you are standing straight up, arms down, if your skirt or your dress is at fingertip length, you're going to be okay. If it's shorter than that, being seated, getting in and out of your vehicle, standing up and sitting down at your desk or whatever your job might call for, that could be a challenge.
Very much so. We're going to a job interview and not the nightclub.
Oh, wait a minute now. I thought, yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Because that also goes with shoes as well.
I know.
You know, I have interviewed women that have had shoes on that was not appropriate for a job.
I understand.
And their fingernails.
Okay, let's talk fingernails. I do know that fashion nowadays dictates some shades of nail polish that may not necessarily go with, again, the job you're interviewing for. So if you are looking to interview in a conservative environment, you want to have a conservative color. In other words, school bus yellow, long fingernails may not be appropriate for a job that may require that the public sees your hands on a regular basis.
You know, Al, when I go to certain stores, I won't say the name of the store, but I always seem to get in line with a clerk that see, we got 10 fingers. I would say 8 of them are long and 2 of them are short. And that's the 2 fingers they use on the cash register.
The forefinger, absolutely.
Not that there are women under the bus, but, you know, it's just, you know, if you're, that just, I don't know.
You're right. You're right. Again, when you get the job, you are representing the company
That's
that
true.
you work for. So and let's just be truthful. I want you to represent yourself in the very best light. So absolutely
In
keeping.
this day and time, I did interrupt you. Please
That's
forgive
okay.
me.
No, I was just saying. I was just thinking out loud that if it's a conservative color, conservative length, you're probably going to do very well and not have a situation that could be embarrassing for either you or whoever you're working with.
Okay, so let's break this down to the lowest common denominator.
Okay, here we go.
What is a conservative color? Because some people would say bright red is a conservative color.
Well, so for the history of, and not to take you too deep, but I'm thinking your paler shades, any color.
Okay.
Pale. I think you're going to be okay. Now, if you get the job and it is okay, and I mean, observe the successful people that you're working with. If they are, rocking a blinged out ring and fingernail, some bright colors, then you're okay.
Okay.
Because apparently no one has set a standard that may not be appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I was at my doctor's office probably about a year ago. He hired a new medical assistant. She came in, and her weave was kind of intertwined in the blood pressure cuff.
Oh, no. Wait a minute now. Well, you know you're going to get an inaccurate reading if the weave is in there.
Oh, not only was the weave in the blood pressure cuff, she had these long nails. And she was trying to get the cuff around my arm, and she was
Okay.
trying to use more of her knuckles than her actual fingers. So,
Did you have to help her?
no, I got kind of upset, and they had to take my blood pressure a couple of times.
Oh. It was fine until that cup
Yeah, it
situation.
was. So let's talk about hair. Today,
Yeah.
pink hair, blue hair, red hair, purple hair. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone, but people starting to look like clowns around here.
Yeah, they really do.
And, it's amazing how they say, well, there's no jobs. Well, a lot of time you talk yourself out of a job by your appearance. So what about this hair color stuff that's going on now?
Again, you're going to want to take into consideration where are you trying to get a job. If you are looking to be in a field where that is appropriate, that's one thing. If you are going into a conservative environment, don't do it. Not even a little bit. Not even the little undercurrent. Because you don't want to put anybody in a position to have to take you to the side and talk to you about it, because then that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. But the more conservative, the more corporate, the more the more you're going to be seeing the public, chances are being a little more conservative is going to be maybe even that unspoken rule. And that's a lot of what we're talking about here. And nobody's necessarily going to hand you a human resources employee handbook that's going to, knock it down that far. But if it's necessary and you are kind of putting your toe on the line, someone's probably going to say something.
That's
so
true.
Me being here today, take what I'm saying and apply it to what you're trying to achieve.
Very much so. I just read an article on last week and how they're going to be pushing legislation, I don't know why it is, to allow or not to allow, to permit people who wear natural hairstyles into the work environment. I do know that I used to work up in Frankenmuth. I was the only person of color up there. And I originally had braids, and I wore micro braids, which are really
I know
small
what you're talking
braids.
about.
You have some people that don't like that because it looks too ethnic. So I actually had to change my hair because I went into certain people's homes. It's amazing how we've had to assimilate. Black Americans have had to assimilate to this white culture. What about men with locks? I don't like the word dread. When you read
I know,
it,
I
when you
understand
read what it really
what it
means, dread
means.
means horrible. And people are still saying dreadlocks. No, that means horrible locks. Your hair is locked, and that's what it is. So what about men and locks?
Well, I think we need to tread carefully in that area. I'm super fortunate that I work for a wonderful corporation where ethnic diversity is highly valued. And you know me, I've had long hair for a long time, and when I decided to have this haircut, I called it clipping the ends. And for those of you who know me, you will know that's a big laugh because it is quite short and
I don't know what's wrong with beautician.
super
When you
curly.
say cut the ends, they cut your hair.
Oh, yes, I know. But that was how I explained it when I got home.
What'd you say, Al?
But it's beautiful.
It is.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Oh, he's like, it's beautiful. Yes.
Thank you very much. But most of your corporations that are embracing ethnicity and diversity and the talents and the values that everybody can bring, they are looking forward to being able to say, we have someone and multiple people that are from your culture who look like you, and we can serve you and we can help you and we appreciate you. So by all means, come on.
That's good. Listeners, if we have a listener out there that is a supervisor that does hiring for their organization, give us a call at 239-5733. We'd like to hear what are some of your rules or regulations that you have for hiring people. And then once they are employed with you, what is your dress code policies? Give us a call at 239-5733. Let's talk about the new marijuana law.
Oh, my.
Oh, I didn't know Al was still, not Al, I didn't know Paul was still in here.
I am.
Yeah. All right, the new marijuana law.
Well, yeah. Again, I myself, I am quite conservative. Let's look at it this way. Come in smoke free if you can.
Yes.
Please. And it doesn't matter what it is you're smoking. If a waft of smoke meets me when I stand to invite you in the office to sit down and I shake your hand, and let's just be real. That is going to be a concern. A lot of corporations have a zero tolerance for smoking. So a lot of people don't realize you can't just go out to your car if you're still on the company grounds and have a cigarette and come back in, because that sort of defeats the purpose of zero tolerance. And you definitely don't want that to deter a potential employer from viewing you as a valued client, because there's going to be concern about how you're going to handle the smoking piece. Come in as fresh as a daisy. You have time to smoke off the clock. And
You know, skunks seem to be the new scent. It seems like everywhere you go now, someone
You can
walks
smell it.
past you with that scent. And if cigarettes gets into your pores and gets into your clothes, wouldn't marijuana do the same thing?
it's going to do the same
Yeah.
thing. It's going to do the same thing.
Again, we're not talking about medicinal purposes,
No.
because that is not what the new law is about. The new law is about recreational marijuana. And most people do not understand it is still illegal far as the federal government is concerned. And a lot of your academic institutions, is against the law, and a lot of the employers. When you take a drug test.
Yeah, if you make it all the way through the first interview, the second interview, and the third portion of the hiring process is for you to have a drug test, believe me when I say, if you test for marijuana, it doesn't matter what your interpretation of the law was. If there's a zero tolerance for it, your talented self who smokes marijuana may very well be out of it.
That's true, because they
I've got a
can.
prescription from my doctor.
I know you do. And so when you leave here, I want you to get into your medical business.
That's not the argument.
Okay, we're not arguing this, Paul. You
Wait
going
a minute,
back out
Paul,
there.
didn't I tell you couldn't be on my show?
You did. You did.
Okay, but what's your question, though?
You did. I don't understand. I mean, if you've got a prescription for Oxycontin, you can come to work on Oxycontin? Do they test for that? Why are people still testing for drugs instead of testing for honesty and trust and reliability and dependability? And those are things we should be testing for. That's what you want in an employee.
Absolutely.
Not one that's drug-free, because they could still be an idiot.
True,
Understood.
but it's also called liability insurance from a business perspective.
There's got to be liabilities for hiring idiots.
Well, sometimes it's called firing. And you can get away without paying unemployment benefits. But I'm just telling the truth. But yeah, when you're talking about being under the influence of drugs, it makes no difference if it's alcohol. It makes no difference if it's a pharmaceutical type thing. You're still a liability to the company.
But it seems that the doctor puts you on the drugs to make you less of a liability.
However, the prescription has requirements, or it has instructions. If it tells you yes, then you don't do it. And the main thing is, if you know it causes you to be impaired, don't take it before you have to go to work. So I answered your question.
My question, I guess, is more to her as the employer.
No, it's not
Why
either.
aren't we testing
I
for
told
loyalty?
you.
Why aren't we testing for dependability?
Well,
I know
Paul.
that they got SATs and ACTs.
Right.
There are tests out there that will determine whether a person is going to steal from you.
Listen, in my business, 95, 96, 97% of the losses were not by people who are inherently dishonest. It was a matter of the availability. The opportunity was there. No one was looking. That doesn't mean that you would not have tested brilliantly as being honest. But when presented with the opportunity, you made a bad judgment. That's where we have to be more cautious.
Maybe it's like a police simulator, where you put them in a situation where they have that opportunity, and that the interview process includes these simulations.
Al, is Paul trying to get a job, and these are the barriers
what's going on here. What happened? Talk to us. Who didn't hire you?
I just think it's stupid that we're testing for drug use and not testing for character flaws, which is probably costing you more than drug use. Like
Well,
you said,
when you put together a scientifically supported blind study of testing for honesty, reliability, all of those things that you just described, you get with me, because I know who to get it to. We can do something with that.
And
I'm going to Google it when I get home.
You go right ahead. There you go right ahead. Let's go to our next thing. We're going to jump a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about education, because the Center for Higher Educational Achievement has CHEA Adult Skills Center. And what we do on this radio show, we try our best to promote our adult literacy program for adults 25 years of age and older who are in need of some, we call them soft skills.
I understand.
And soft skills really are for those who have graduated from high school, but they're still struggling with basic reading and basic math, basic writing skills, and some computer skills. Computer skills. We have a lot of them. I have graduated at around Paul age and don't know how to use a computer. So, wow, time is running out. How important is a basic education when applying for a job through the banking industry?
It is important, period. And I'm going to say that it's important in no matter what industry. But in particular, if you're going to be working with money, if you're going to be working to help people apply for a loan, if you're going to be helping people try to correct an error on their bank account basic skills, truly being able to read and comprehend the information that you are reading is very important. When you're in a position, no matter what industry you are in, where someone is coming to ask you for answers, you have to be able to effectively read through what you need to find the answer, and then be able to effectively communicate what you have found.
That is true. Paul, do you know a lot of corporate jobs are giving aptitude tests to individuals? So to go back to what you're saying, if they're honest, if they're whatever, and the tricky thing about the aptitude test, if you're paying attention to the questions, they're asking you the same questions over and over again to see how you're going to respond to them. So the aptitude test is there to determine if you are competent mentally, if you're going to be a trustworthy employee. So those things are put in place. I think the younger generation don't understand what that test is doing. You want to try to answer it honest as possible, because they're going to ask you the question again.
Again and
Or be
again.
smart enough to remember that they asked you the question, and it just makes it harder for you to lie. So they catch you in a lie, and I like that test. I've taken those tests before, and they make a lot more sense than the other one.
Alrighty,
I can do
Paul.
more damage with a legal dose of OxyContin.
Okay, Paul.
I hear you.
That's the reason why he was banned from my show.
And he's working for himself.
That is true. That is true. Listeners, I'd like to tell you about the Center for Higher Educational Achievement Northland Adult Education Program. We are accepting enrollment for adults 25 years of age and older who are in need of basic reading, math classes, and also your GED. In addition to the Adult Learning Center, we also have financial literacy coaching, which is a partnership with the State Bank, where you can individually have a financial coach to work with you on your finances. In addition to that, we also offer the civil legal counseling services with Legal Services of Eastern Michigan. If you meet the income requirement, you're able to meet with an attorney. Sorry, please forgive me for that. An attorney, in order for you to get your business straight. If you're over the age of 60, guess what, Al? The services are free.
Why are you picking on Al?
I didn't say that. I just called Al because he's my favorite. So anyways, how much time I have left before I go into another question?
You got 3.
I got 3 minutes left?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. So let's look at math skills and
Math
reading
skills.
comprehension.
Okay, let's start with the reading comprehension. Again, that goes back to, can you read and understand what you've read and effectively be able to communicate it? Same thing with math. If you are unable to work your way through start to finish, using whatever skill would be necessary to get you to the goal, whether it's straight addition or addition and needing to divide, or putting together a formula. I use a lot of formulas at my job. I have to calculate people's interests. I have to calculate their payments, and that's serious business, especially.
You can't rely on a computer or a calculator.
That's true. So yeah, keeping the math skills sharp, keeping the reading skills sharp, but also, and I want to share this quickly. Another thing that we are looking for is true dedication to wanting to get the job and wanting to be there and wanting to move up. And we can kind of see that early on in the relationship. If you get hired and you already need to know when you can have a vacation, that's not a bad thing, unless I have to hear about it week after week after week.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Cheryl, for the listeners who are interested in opening a checking account or getting a loan, how can they get in touch with Flagstar Bank?
Please call me at 810-695-0159. I'm located at 6200 South Saginaw in Grand Blanc. Again, the number is 810-695-0159. Thank you.
Listeners, thank you again for a wonderful evening and hope to see you back next Thursday.
Hey, before you go off, right?
Yes.
I want you to congratulate Paul Jr.
Oh, yes,
What's
he
going on?
graduated.
Oh,
Yes.
look at here.
Yeah.
Look at me. I didn't have nothing to do with it. I was only there for about 10 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yes, he graduated from what college?
Michigan State University.
And you have a
right.
second son that's also.
Graduating tomorrow or Saturday from Central Michigan.
All right. All right.
Congratulations,
I got
Paul.
new folks to help with the house payment.
There you
Oh,
go.
yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Good
All right, listeners, have a great night.
Thank you.